Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 327 based on novel. So let's start. And I also became confused for a moment under this unimaginable power. I originally thought it was only for a moment, but it lasted for 3 whole months. When I became sober after 3 months, the celestial realm had already collapsed. The new Azure Dragon Divine Emperor didn't listen to me and went to check the celestial realm. After that, he never returned. Another several hundreds of years passed. Due to the collapse of the celestial realm, the brilliant void star system became chaotic. Then an organization called the Cultivation Alliance appeared, and there was the shadow of the brilliant void realm behind it. This Cultivation Alliance used some unknown method to obtain a majority of the Rain Celestial Realm's inheritances. I originally wanted to go ask for the whereabouts of the Azure Dragon Divine Emperor, but my third heaven's blight had arrived many years ahead of time. I had to go into closed-door cultivation, but it was at this moment that the Cultivation Alliance launched their attack on the 4 Divine Sect. The Black Tortoise Divine Emperor betrayed us, and although I seriously injured him, I wasn't able to kill him because of my third heaven's blight. White Tiger Divine Emperor died in battle, and even his corpse was robbed. What was ridiculous was that although the Cultivation Alliance's losses were great, they didn't know the cause of this war. They always thought that it was to battle for the ownership of the brilliant Void Star system. What they didn't know was that this wasn't a battle to become the ruler of the brilliant Void Star system. They had used some unknown method to make the Black Tortoise Divine Emperor betray us and then found out my 4 Divine Sect secret. However, the brilliant Void Realm only knew of the secret. They didn't know the location of that cultivation planet. The brilliant Void Star system was too vast, and it was simply too difficult to find one cultivation planet. Also, the planet had been transformed by the 4 first-generation Divine Emperors, so it was impossible to find anything abnormal about it. According to the agreement of the 4 first-generation Divine Emperors, only each generation of Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor can know the exact position of the planet. As a result, the war between the Alliance and the 4 Divine Sect began. When things became dangerous, I didn't hesitate to threaten them with the 4 holy treasures. I was willing to pay the price, but I still wasn't able to keep the secret, even with my power. This was, after all, related to the life and death of all the members of the 4 Divine Sect. In the end, I told them the location of the planet. The brilliant Void Realm was also concerned about the 4 holy treasures, and the secret I told them involved too many things, so they weren't able to authenticate it. It was only then that the war with the 4 Divine Sect slowly ended. I took the 4 Divine Sect and went into hiding, but I was too injured. However, I was unwilling to die. After all, if I died, the 4 Divine Sect would immediately be torn apart. Also, I hadn't found someone to inherit the secret. I was able to remain alive thanks to a spell and endured the pain of the third heaven's blight I couldn't get past. I lasted for countless years. Now I'm finally about to be free. The middle-aged man's figure gradually went away, but his voice echoed in Wang Lin's mind for a long time. Wang Lin, remember what I'm about to say. This is the deepest secret of my 4 Divine Sect. I don't know why the first-generation Divine Emperors placed such an importance to it, but remember it well and pass it on. The entire 4 Divine Sect came from one planet. You can think of it as a door. This door was divided into 4 parts by the 4 first-generation Divine Emperors, and they were hidden within 4 cultivation planets. They were dispersed in different regions. When the ancient celestial realm disappeared and the world was divided into 4 celestial realms, the 4 planets were ended in each of the 4 different star systems. I only told the brilliant Void Realm one of them, which is your birth planet, Planet Suzaku. As for the other 3 locations, I don't know if they changed or what they are called now, but remember these 3 star maps. As the middle-aged man's message entered Wang Lin's mind, 3 ancient star maps immediately appeared along with it. At this moment, Wang Lin was very shocked. He didn't think the 4 Divine Sect had such a secret. Moreover, he didn't think that the planet Suzaku he came from was unexpectedly the key to the war between the Alliance, the brilliant Void Realm, and the 4 Divine Sect. No wonder one of the old Divine Emperor's avatars was always on planet Suzaku. No wonder Moji's master made him stay on planet Suzaku. I fear his master isn't an ordinary person. I wonder how he was able to see some clues on this matter. No wonder Liu Mai also appeared on planet Suzaku. Even the Tattoo clan was on planet Suzaku. Wang Lin gradually learned about the old Divine Emperor's avatar, Huanglong, throughout the last 3 years. The middle-aged man had left all this information as he went away, but then he suddenly paused. He looked at Wang Lin with a kind smile and softly said, "If the pressure is too large, if the Four Divine Sect has no hope of returning to its former glory, if the heavens really want to destroy my Four Divine Sect, well, then there is no need to force yourself." After leaving those last words, the middle-aged man took a step and disappeared. Wang Lin's lonely figure was left in the star in a daze. What he had just heard had shocked him to the point where he couldn't think. It took a long time for him to recover. At this moment, a ray of light shot toward the very large floating palace that belonged to the Thunder Celestial Temple in the western region. There was a figure inside this ray of light, and this figure was an origin soul. The origin soul was almost transparent, with numerous red lines spread across. It looked very shocking. The origin soul's face had a strange smile, as if he was enjoying great pleasure. However, his eyes were filled with fear and chaos. "Master Flamspark, save me!" Just as he got near the Thunder Celestial Temple, the origin soul sent out a sharp message. The message began to echo across the stars. In an instant, many figures came out from the palace. The person in front was covered in flames. He had white hair and he was the Thunder Celestial Temple's Master Flamespark. He took a step and instantly arrived next to the origin soul. He revealed a very serious expression as his hand formed a seal and grabbed the origin soul. His left hand quickly pointed at the origin soul several times. Every time he pointed, rich origin energy entered the origin soul. The red lines shrank, but no matter what, they couldn't be forced out from Li Yunzi's body. As the origin energy entered his origin soul, Li Yunzi became sober and quickly said, "While returning, I was ambushed by people of the Corpse Sect." Before he could finish speaking, the red lines that had been suppressed by the origin energy began to struggle. Li Yunzi immediately paused, and a smile that was not a smile emerged. The confusion in his eyes also returned. Although he didn't finish speaking, his words had clearly entered the ears of all the elders that had come out. Their expressions immediately became extremely gloomy. "Corpse Sect." Master Flamespark frowned as he mercilessly pointed to between Lin Yunzi's eyebrows. Li Yunzi trembled and regained his sanity. Master Flamespark shouted, "Li Yunzi, speak clearly. Why did the Corpse Sect ambush you?" "The Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor is Wang Lin. He wanted me to hand you a jade. On the way back, I was ambushed by the people of the Corpse Sect and was inflicted with the Seventh Heaven poison. Although Li Yunzi's cultivation level was higher than Situ Nan's, he hadn't reached the Nirvana Shatterer stage yet. Now his body was gone, and he wasn't as talented as Situ Nan to find other ways to suppress the poison. Due to various reasons, the poison inside Li Yunzi became extremely vicious. As he spoke, his right hand struggled to reach at the void before him. A crack appeared and a jade flew out. After doing all this, he could no longer resist the poison in his body. He coughed out a mouthful of essence origin energy and passed out. Master Flamespark caught the jade and checked it with his divine sense. Even with Master Flamespark's mental fortitude, his expression changed greatly and his eyes shined brightly. This news. Master Flamespark felt as if he was struck by thunder and remained still. He subconsciously checked it again to confirm the contents. At this moment, the gazes of the elders all turned toward him. Master Flamespark waved his right hand and the jade was passed to the old man next to him. The old man had a serious expression as he scanned it with his divine sense, then his expression changed greatly too. It didn't take long for all the elders present to see it. All of them had very strong reactions after seeing the contents of the jade. One of the old men pondered for a bit and then slowly said, "We don't know if this is true or a lie. If someone like this is able to escape, it will be a catastrophe for the entire Alliance star system." Although this matter doesn't matter to us much, if the information in this jade is true, then my all heaven would lose all hope to occupy the alliance. We would need to immediately return to all heaven and set up heavy protection. If that person enters all heaven, the elders' eyes were filled with terror. This matter is likely false. There is no way such a person can exist. The contents say that even as Nirvana Shattra cultivators would be seriously injured, if not killed, with just the point of a finger. It is too absurd. Some of them didn't believe this and let out cold snorts. Master Flamespark suddenly said, "Does everyone still remember that moon beast?" All the elders were startled, as if they had realized something. However, there is no need to care too much about it. After all, just as Master Flamespark was speaking, he suddenly stopped and his expression became extremely respectful, as if he was listening to something. Master Flamespark's strange expression didn't shock any of the elders. Instead, they all became respectful as well. A moment later, Master Flamespark's expression changed once more. He faced the west as he clasped his hands and respectfully said, "As you command." His eyes became serious as he looked around and said, "Stop all battles with the Alliance and summon all Nirvana Scryer and above cultivators here. Wait for my command after I return from the Four Divine Sect." The same scene occurred inside the Corpse Sect. Only, compared to all heaven, the Jade Li Yingji had brought back caused the Corpse Sect to go completely crazy over the contents. The Corpse Sect was located in the southern region of the Alliance. At the center of the region, there was a coffin. Li Yingji was on one knee before this coffin with her hands before her chest as if she was praying. There was a jade releasing white light floating before her. This was only a very ordinary jade. It looked very common, but it would cause a catastrophe in the Alliance. It was enough to make everyone go crazy, especially the Corpse Sect. Li Yingji spoke in detail of everything that had happened since she arrived at the Four Divine Sect, then she handed over the jade. An invisible force suddenly appeared and pulled the jade toward the center of the coffins. The moment the jade flew over, a dried-up hand reached out from the biggest coffin in the center and immediately grabbed the jade. There were black and red lines intersecting across the arm. The black was the tendons and the red was the flesh. They intersected with each other and gave off an ancient aura as if this arm came from ancient times. The moment this arm appeared, an extremely powerful yin energy spread out and swept the area. Not even Li Yingji could withstand it and was forced to retreat, but she had an extremely respectful expression. When the arm caught the jade, a powerful divine sense spread out and entered the jade. This divine sense was very powerful, and the moment it appeared, Li Yingji's face turned pale. Even her origin soul began to tremble. This divine sense was filled with a tyrannical frenzy, as if it wanted to rush out from the coffin and tear up the stars and slaughter all life. There was a powerful scent of blood coming from this divine sense. In truth, there was no smell of blood, but the feeling of being inside this divine sense would make you feel like you smelled blood. "You. What is your name?" A message came from the powerful divine sense. Li Yingji was like a lonely boat in the raging waves. Disciple Li Yingji greets the third king. The beautiful woman knelt on the ground, and fear filled her eyes. She didn't think this jade would awaken the third king. When she thought about the legends of the third king, Li Yingji became nervous. Originally, she thought that although the news within this jade would cause shock, at most it would only awaken the fifth king. She had some speculation about the corpse imprinted in his jade. However, the moment this slaughter divine sense spread out, Li Yingji knew that she had underestimated the corpse recorded inside the jade. Not only her, but almost all the disciples of the Corpse Sect in the southern region felt this divine sense cover the area. They stopped what they were doing and knelt down in worship. "You have done a great deed bringing this jade back. You can go inside the corpse pit, and I give you the right to enter the 6th floor of the pit to pick a corpse." As the gloomy voice echoed within Li Yingji's ears, she trembled in excitement. Thinking about some of the legendary corpses on the 6th floor, Li Yingji's breathing became rough. "Many thanks, third king." The gloomy voice slowly spread out. "Do you know what the corpse recorded inside this jade is?" Li Yingji pondered a bit, and after hesitating a bit, she said, "Disciple doesn't know much, but I have a vague guess that this should be an ancient god from primordial times." A long laugh echoed. This gloomy voice seemed to be very excited. As the laughter echoed, the divine sense seemed to fluctuate as well. Ancient God. This body does indeed belong to an ancient god. If it was only an ordinary ancient god, it wouldn't be a big deal, but it is unexpectedly a royal ancient god. An 8-star royal ancient god. In the end, the greed in the voice was heaven-shaking. It even caused the origin energy in the star field to change. Royal ancient god, Li Yingji was startled but didn't ask. Summon all disciples of the corpse sect. Use the blood of the heavens to open the 9th layer of the corpse pit and take out 8 bodies. This time, 8 of the 9 kings of the corpse sect will head out. Summon back all elders of the corpse sect. My corpse sect must obtain the corpse of this royal ancient god. A thunderous voice echoed across the southern region, and it was clearly felt by all corpse sect members. They trembled and quickly acknowledged the order. As a result, a huge storm was set off in the southern region. Disciple isn't sure of the validity of the information in this jade. Li Yingji was shocked. Although she knew the contents were going to shock the entire corpse sect, this was no mere shock. The corpse sect was moving all its forces. As a result, she couldn't help but panic. If this jade was real, it wouldn't matter, but she wasn't sure. If the contents of the jade were proven false, she would have to bear unimaginable consequences. After all, she had brought back the jade. No problem. The Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor told you bring it here. Given his status, there's a 70% of it being true. The 4 divine sect would not easily spread false news. It would be equal to teasing my corpse sect, all heaven, and the remaining alliance forces. However, I will have to personally take a trip to the 4 divine sect. The 2 pieces of jade were like 2 giant invisible hands that affected the hearts of countless people. It was like an undercurrent that began to move, and something heaven-shattering was going to happen. Similarly, when Moji returned to the country of Chuyun, the 3 jades were quickly sent to the other 3 powerful alliance forces. At the same time, with a ceasefire from all heaven, large amounts of cultivators left the battlefield. The people of the corpse sect stopped trading with both sides and quickly went back to their sect. These strange changes caught the attention of the alliance cultivators. The person who caused all of this, Wang Lin, calmly stayed in the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect. He sat next to the edge of the volcano and calmly cultivated. There was a large toad sitting next to him. Thunder continued to flash around the toad, making crackling sounds. The thunder toad seemed to be able to withstand the high temperature here. With the big war imminent, Wang Lin knew he didn't have much time left. He had improved his spells as much as possible so he could survive the next big battle. At the same time, he was waiting for the corpse sect and all heaven to send people again. Wang Lin was confident that the 2 different jades he sent would make those 2 forces come to him. Wang Lin's mind was extraordinary, but he rarely used schemes. The reason he hadn't schemed much before was not because he couldn't. It was due to his previous status. Before, anything he did would merely be small tricks. However, with the 4 divine sect behind him, he was able to use open schemes. He had plainly told everyone news about the ancient god, and everyone also knew that Wang Lin must have been plotting something. Anyone with any intelligence would be able to clearly see this. If Wang Lin hadn't become the Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor and released this news, it wouldn't have had any effect. Instead, it would be inviting disaster for himself. Whether it was the corpse sect or all heaven, they would first capture him and question him. However, right now, whether it was the corpse sect or all heaven, they didn't have this choice. After all, there was also a third side they could never get along with, the alliance cultivators. Also, the mysteries of the 4 divine sect and its previous status as the overlord of the system was enough to deter people. They knew that the price of war would be too high. This was the real reason Wang Lin dared to spread this news. Similarly, Wang Lin knew that his identity as an ancient god was no longer any secret among the powerful cultivators in the Alliance star system. After all, in the demon spirit land, Wang Lin had displayed all his power, and the spell dream of ancient times had appeared as well. Wang Lin refused to believe that it hadn't raised any suspicions or speculations. This was also one of the main reasons Wang Lin had agreed to come with the old Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor so easily. If he hadn't, with his serious injuries, he would have found it difficult to move even one step. He would be hunted night and day, and sooner or later, he would be caught. It was because of this that him spreading the news of Tuol Sen was even more credible. Also, there was no need to lie. Once they arrived at the land of the ancient god on planet Suzaku, they would immediately know if it was real or not. All Heaven, Corp Sect, Cultivation Alliance. I wonder if these three forces will be able to deal with Tuol Sen. Wang Lin pondered for a bit and then no longer thought about this matter. In truth, luring the three forces to go to planet Suzaku was only the first part of this plan. In truth, he had another surefire plan. Taking a deep breath, Wang Lin looked up at the thunder toad next to him. The toad seemed to be asleep, but strands of fire origin energy entered its body. The thunder toad and mosquito beast were released by Wang Lin after he arrived at the four divine sect to cultivate on their own. Yesterday, the thunder toad came from the black tortoise divine sect and found Wang Lin through their connection. The mosquito beast should have already arrived. Why has it not come to me? The elders of the Azure Dragon divine sect said they saw the mosquito beast leave before them. Even though the mosquito beast isn't as fast as the elders, it should have arrived after this much time. Wang Lin frowned as he pondered, but he suppressed the doubt in his heart. Forget it. It could just be the mosquito beast being playful and he was delayed a few days. Wang Lin's hand formed a seal and pointed to his body. His face became strangely red and there was trace of pain in it. With Wang Lin's control of fire origin energy, it was hard for him to feel heat that was difficult to bear, and even harder to feel heat that could make him sweat. However, at this moment, large drops of sweat appeared on his forehead. After a long time, Wang Lin let out a mouthful of foul air. There was a flash of red and a broken sword was slowly pushed out from his chest. This broken sword was completely red, and the moment it appeared, a monstrous slaughter energy appeared. This slaughter energy was so powerful that it immediately charged out of the planet. Even the flames around the planet paused and were pushed aside by this slaughter energy. This broken sword was the root of grey-robed Allseer's slaughter energy. After the battle at the Demon Spirit Land, the broken half had stayed in Wang Lin's body. During these 3 years, while he healed and cultivated, he had also been slowly refining his sword. The part that was in his origin soul had already dissipated, leaving only this broken sword in his body. After 3 years of refining this, I've gained some basic understanding. Once I refine this, I can cultivate the celestial slaughter art without any issue. There will be no danger of blowing up once I reach 1 million strands of slaughter energy. Wang Lin still couldn't forget this slaughter energy. After all, he had cultivated it for many years and had gotten very far. At that time, it was with the help of ancient demon Bei Lu that he understood the harm of the celestial slaughter art. If he had continued cultivating it, his body would have collapsed and become a real strand of slaughter energy. He would have become something that belonged to grey-robed Allseer. In the end, he had to give it up, but he also felt regret. However, at this moment, this regret disappeared as he stared at the broken, red sword. Wang Lin's right eye lit up and a sea of flames suddenly appeared. The flames surrounded the broken sword and slowly burned it. As the sword burned, Wang Lin's right hand formed a seal and pointed to between his eyebrows. His ancient thunder dragon origin soul flew out from between his eyebrows and spat out a mouthful of essence origin energy. Wang Lin's second origin soul formed by the 9 mysterious transformation also opened his eyes and spat out another mouthful of essence origin energy. As a result, the fire and thunder essence origin energy appeared. The moment it got near the flames around the sword, the flames became even more intense, as if hot oil had been thrown in. A thunderous rumble echoed endlessly. The edges of the broken sword began to show signs of melting, but just at this moment, cold slaughter energy appeared to resist the flames. Wang Lin wasn't unfamiliar with this phenomenon, as this always happened when he refined this sword before. However, Wang Lin didn't have time to waste today. He had refined this sword to become his. Then he would be able to cultivate the celestial slaughter art again, as it was a very powerful defensive spell. If it was before he finished the first transformation, Wang Lin wouldn't be confident, but right now he was 70% confident. He withdrew his gaze from the broken sword he was refining, took a deep breath, and both his hands formed a seal. The flame in his right eye became even stronger, as if it would light up the heavens. Wang Lin pointed up at the sky, and his second origin soul did the same. At this moment, an unimaginably powerful fire suddenly came out of Wang Lin's origin soul. It came out through Wang Lin's right hand and formed a sea of flames in the sky. Flames, gather! Wang Lin's voice was low. The moment he spoke, all the fire origin energy on the planet he was on trembled and gathered toward him. Not was only the cultivation planet like this, even the burning star field was the same. When a large amount of fire origin energy had gathered, Wang Lin pointed at the broken sword. The gathered fire origin energy shot toward the broken sword, and the speed at which the broken sword melted increased several-fold. However, similarly, the slaughter energy coming out from the broken sword increased to resist the flame. Wang Lin stared at the broken sword for a moment and his right eye flashed. The second origin soul inside the ancient thunder dragon origin soul rushed out. It came out from Wang Lin's right eye and pounced at the broken sword. At this instant, Wang Lin made a seal with his hands and spat something out. It was the 18 Hell Celestial Sealing Stamp. Magic Arsenal, Master Void, All-Seer, appear. After Wang Lin spoke, he waved his right hand and specks of light surrounded the 18 Hell Celestial Sealing Stamp. The specks of light soon gathered and formed the figures of two souls. It was Master Void and the All-Seer formed by the fusion of the two avatars. The moment the two trapped souls appeared, they pounced at the broken sword. They circled the broken sword with Wang Lin's second origin soul to help refine it. At the same time, Wang Lin raised his left hand and pressed down on the volcano. The volcano began to rumble, and the black smoke intensified and a heat wave suddenly rushed out from inside the volcano. Red lava also came out with the heat wave. However, with a wave of his left hand, the magma flowed like water and surrounded the broken sword. It formed a ball of magma 100 feet wide, causing the temperature inside to become even higher. This time, Wang Lin was willing to pay any cost to completely refine this slaughter sword from grey-robed All-Seer. He was using his second origin soul, Master Void, All-Seer, the fire origin energy of the world, and finally this lava to form a shell to speed up the refining process. Wang Lin was below the 100 feet ball as he controlled the fire origin energy to enter the ball. Time slowly passed, and soon it had been 12 hours since he started. Wang Lin couldn't last long using this intense refining method. If it went on for too long, not only would Wang Lin's origin energy not be able to handle it, he would also consume the celestial origin energy he had gained from devouring those dozens of celestials. After 12 hours had passed, Wang Lin's eyes shined brightly and he let out a roar. He waved his hand and the ball of magma shattered into countless pieces of burning debris. At this moment, the broken sword could no longer resist the intense heat, so it melted completely. Wang Lin's second origin soul devoured the melted sword and returned to Wang Lin's body. Master Void and the All-Seer's souls also returned to the 18 Hell Celestial Sealing Stamp. Wang Lin closed his eyes and cultivated for a bit. A red sword slowly condensed before his second origin soul. It gave off powerful slaughter energy, and with just a thought, the slaughter energy would rush out. It's a pity that refining this sword has consumed so much of the slaughter energy it had. There are less than 1 million strands of slaughter energy remaining. I will need to continue to cultivate it and add more. Wang Lin opened his eyes and let out a deep breath. Then he slapped his bag of holding, causing a black light to fly out, and it turned into a trident before Wang Lin. Wang Lin stared at the trident, but just at this moment, his expression changed and he looked up. Guilt and sadness immediately appeared in Wang Lin's eyes. I still have to give him an explanation about this matter. Wang Lin let out a sigh as he put the trident away and disappeared. There was another planet not far away from the planet Wang Lin was on. This was also one of the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect's main planets. This planet had numerous fiery red mountains and was very beautiful. At this moment, there was a woman kneeling on the highest peak of the planet. She was very beautiful, but she had a bitter expression, and she remained motionless while kneeling. Before her was a black stone carving of Wang Lin. Behind the statue was the entrance to a cave, and it was pitch black inside. There was a youth in black sitting next to the statue. This youth had a cold expression. He didn't even look at the woman and calmly cultivated. I beg you let me go in, the woman's eyes were filled with tears as she spoke to the man in black. The youth in black opened his eyes and coldly said, "No." The woman's body trembled and she was about to speak, but just at this moment, a sigh echoed across the sky. Ripples appeared on the peak of the mountain and Wang Lin stepped out. As soon as Wang Lin appeared, the youth in black became excited and respectful. He got up and said, 13 greets master. When the woman saw Wang Lin, her expression became even more bitter, but she didn't speak. Wang Lin nodded at 13 and gently said to the woman, "Ling take me to meet your great-grandfather." "Great-grandpa, he won't last much longer." Tears flowed down from Ling Er's eyes. The guilt in Wang Lin's eyes became even stronger as he waved his sleeves and he disappeared with Ling Er. After he left, a pair of eyes lit up within the cave at the top of the mountain. Wang Lin's original body opened his eyes and also revealed guilt. The star-marked sable was on his shoulder, and it would occasionally lick Wang Lin's neck. No saw that Wang Lin was sitting on bones. It was an eerie sight. A white-haired old man who looked very old was drinking wine on the wall of a city in the Vermilion Bird Divine sect. There was a look of madness in his eyes. "Second brother, third brother, big brother has wronged both of you. I'm sorry." The old man poured wine into his mouth, allowing the wine flow out from the corner of his mouth and fuse with his tears. He was drinking his wine and tears. Due to the mixture of tears, the wine was no longer sweet, but deeply bitter. Along with the bitterness in his heart, rather than saying he was drinking wine, it was more like he was drinking his own tears. A ripple appeared behind him and Wang Lin and Ling Er appeared. When Ling Er saw the old man's appearance, even more tears appeared in her eyes. She was about to go take the wine from the old man, but she was stopped by Wang Lin. Wang Lin let out a sigh as he walked next to the old man. He sat down on the wall, casually picked up a wine jug, and also took a big gulp. At this moment, in the center part of the Alliance star system, where the Alliance forces were, a group of dozens of mosquito beasts passed by. Their eyes were completely red, and an aroma that only the mosquito beasts could smell spread. It was as if these mosquito beasts were being controlled by this fragrance. There were 3 young men wearing yellow before them. They were each holding a strange incense while carefully luring this herd of mosquito beasts. One of them spoke while greed filled his eyes. "I didn't think this Alliance star system would have giant mosquito beasts. If the 3 of us bring these giant mosquito beasts to meet with the Elder, we will be rewarded greatly." His way of speaking was a bit different from people of the Alliance, as if he came from outside the Alliance star system. This video will end here.